Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to some more F1 2021 and another part of our Immersive Driver Career Mode with Mercedes. Today we are looking to bounce back at our home Grand Prix in Great Britain. It has been a place where we've had a lot of success in the past, but equally we have had some last lap disasters. We've had 2 retirements around here in the last 3 years with silly last lap overtakes or overtake opportunities, and we need to really make sure that today we're on top of it. We want to go out there, we want to get pole position, and that starts with a good lap in Q1, so let's see how we get on. Here we go then, up to the line. It's a 125 flat, which is the fastest lap so far. No idea where Hamilton's going to fit into all that. A little bit of a mistake there, but might as well try and improve on this lap if we can. Get a little bit more security.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
So I think Hamilton perhaps is on his fast lap now. So we'll stay out there, we'll see how close he gets, but Gasly currently the car in second. Verstappen only P4. So we come up to Cops. Yeah, lovely through there. And now into Maggots and Beckett's. I think we can do a lot better, but we've unfortunately just left the track there. But we'll stay out there. See what we could achieve in this final sector. Look at this. Wow, that is a slipstream and a half. Oh! Go down the inside of Alonso there, and we now come up to the line. Half a second down, but what can Hamilton do? He goes quickest on a 24.3, so 7 tenths quicker than us. So again, Hamilton looking like he is the quicker, but we will see. comfortably through to the next session then in second place. We are looking very, very imperious around here as Mercedes, and with the brand new engine in the car, who's to say we can't go and power ourselves to pole position. Well, here we come up to the line on medium tyres. Where are we going to go? We go top of the pile with a 24.9. That is what we are talking about. An excellent lap there on the medium tyres. And that is going to be more than enough to get through. You can see pretty much everybody is out there on the medium tyres. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on the softs next time. That should be enough to get us through. Well, there we are. We are through in first position. 0.2 quicker than Gasly on the softs. Verstappen couldn't get near us on the softs either. Perez through on the medium. So there's 4 drivers that are through on the medium tyres. George Russell is out in the Williams. Alpine drivers, Alonso and GIOVINAZZI are both out. And Stroll and Vettel also out, but that top 10 very, very close together as we go on to the soft tyre runs in Q3. Now here we come up to the line then for our pole position time. It's a 1:24.5, which is enough for pole as it stands. So that is an awesome lap. It's 0.4 quicker than our Q2 time on the mediums, and it's a 10th quicker than Lewis Hamilton's Q1 time on the softs. So that is very much the fastest time in qualifying thus far. And we are just at one with the car at the moment, and well, it's just gutting that we had that retirement last time out in Austria. But Verstappen, he's gone quickest now with a 1:24.3, so that's 0.2 quicker. Well, we are going to have to now pull it out the bag. In our second run, we have a little practice through Maggots and Beckett's. There is time to be found there, and about 0.2 of it by the looks of it. So if we can absolutely nail our second run, we are going to run very, very close to Max Verstappen's time. So here we come into the pits. We're going to practice our pit entry, and that looks pretty good. That was a pretty good pit entry. But wow, Max Verstappen, what a time he has pulled off. Are we going to make it over the line in time? We just about do. So this is it. The pole position run. We just made it in time. Oh, and that wasn't a great turn there. But we are around about 1.5 up. That's a really, really strong first sector. Now we just got to keep it settled. We're 3.5 up at the moment. We took all the fuel out of the car. This is the pace of the car. This should be the fastest lap that we can produce. And we absolutely nail Maggots and Beckett's. That is going to be huge. And look at that, 8.5. We are not going to get a better chance at this than this at getting pole position around our home circuit. We lose it through Stowe a little bit. Norris peels off into the pits. That is a hugely helpful peel off for us. And here we come. A little bit wide there. We come up to the line. It is going to be good enough. It wasn't a perfect final sector, but it was a perfect middle sector. And that is what's got us pole position. Come on!
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. The captain, Verstappen, and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Well, you watched us there. I mean, that first and second sector, we could not produce any better than that. Maggots and Beckett's was a pinpoint precision. No lockups at all. It was just absolute perfection. We will never have a lap like that again around Silverstone. A 1:23.8. That was brilliant. 5/10 quicker than Max Verstappen in the end. Lewis Hamilton nearly a second down on us. And we just found it right at the death there. Ocon didn't find it. He's starting 10th. That's going to be a big moment for him. But our third pole position of the season. And can we perhaps go and get ourselves another victory?
Great Britain then, one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every single year of the Formula One World Championship. And the circuit extends that record further for today's Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Now, I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. The captain lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly, and Mick Schumacher, Norris, Perez, Tsunoda, and Esteban Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Stroll, Vettel, Latifi, Callum ILOTT, and Guan Yu Zhou, Lundgaard, and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, here we are then.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
We are ready and raring to go. Starting on those medium tyres, getting them off fairly early and getting onto those soft tyres. We will trust in Jeff and his judgment for our strategy this race. And, well, we got Max Verstappen alongside us. He's on the soft tyres, so he'll have the better of the grip. Early on, we probably don't want to be...
But we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
We probably don't want to be pulling that far over to the right-hand side in the actual start. We want to make sure that we've got a nice wide entry into one. So whatever happens with Verstappen, we've got to focus on turn 1 and getting that right. Because if we get that right, we should be in the lead.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good.
But again, it's an overcast day. We just do not have the weather with us this Formula 1 season. But we will see how we manage to get on. And the cops, we're going to have Max Verstappen right there. Using the full extent of the track to try and get this car as warm as possible, these tyres as grippy as we can. We do not want to be a sitting duck. But here we come. We are now in the final phases of this formation lap. Verstappen actually overtakes us on track, so we are going to have very slightly hotter tyres than Max Verstappen, and that could make the difference. It really could. You know, we've got the hottest tyres we could possibly wish for at the start of this Grand Prix. Verstappen, well, he's got the grip. We've got the cleaner side of the grid. It's all going to be swings and roundabouts. It should be side by side going into turn one, you would imagine.
Up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
But we are here. We are ready. We are raring to go. Lights out. Away we go here in Great Britain. It's a decent start off the grid, but Verstappen does manage to jump us into the first corner. But will he be able to hold on? That is the question. We knew that he was possibly going to get a better jump with those soft tyres. But Max Verstappen does lead. But now we have a better exit onto the Wellington Straight. But Verstappen is still ahead. And we're going to struggle to get past him on this first lap now. Because he's going to have the superior grip. But that is going to be grip that falls off fairly quickly in this Grand Prix. As we head towards Copse for the first time in this race. And, well, we just lose it a little bit because of the dirty air into Maggots and Beckett's now. And Max Verstappen is very much in the lead, and he's going to try and bolt now. He's broke that 1 second window, and now we have to perhaps defend from Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton down to 5th, Mick Schumacher all the way up to 4th at the moment. This is a brilliant start of the Grand Prix. We are closing in on Max now as we go into this final section where our superior car does just take hold. And we need to stay in that 1 second window. A quicker final sector helps us out with that. But we need to get back in that 1 second window by the end of this lap. We cannot afford Max Verstappen pulling away from us in these early stages of this Grand Prix. But that was okay. That's a pretty good first sector for us. We are just outside the 1 second window. But yeah, just not the ideal start for us, unfortunately. Off the line, and I was hoping we'd maybe be a little bit more alongside Max Verstappen going into turn one, but he certainly took advantage of having the extra grip. But we are still very much holding on to him, and in fact this middle sector, we've closed in on him. A bit wide there, so lose about 0.4 of a second in that corner alone, but you can see how much more of a straight line speed advantage we have. Through Stowe and then into this twisty turny end to the lap. We did well through here last time, but we are definitely pulling away from third place Charles Leclerc and Mick Schumacher just behind. But there we go, fastest lap of the race. But it is going to be tit for tat, you would imagine, between ourselves and Max Verstappen in the opening stages of this race. But we closed right in at the start of this third lap. Unfortunately, we must have been outside of the 1 second window when we went through the detection area. But now maybe our Verstappen's tyres going off a little bit, because we have been much quicker on this lap so far. Trying to stay in the 1 second window. We have got DRS, that's going to really help. DRS closes us right in. We know we are quicker in this final sector than Max Verstappen. And look at this, we close right in on him. A little bit wide there, and that's going to cost us one of our warnings, but there you go.
Fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
But we couldn't keep it up through that first corner, but we should have DRS on Max Verstappen down the Wellington Straight. And he's starting to slide around a little bit, putting the pressure on him here. DRS is open. Closing right in on him. It is a fastest first sector. But now the challenge is stay this close until the hangar straight. He's defending into cops. Just drop off a little bit. Guarantee that we stay within range. Into Maggots and Beckett's now. Lost more time than we'd have liked through there, but DRS is open. This has got to be a good chance.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Oh, Jeff suggesting a new strategy. I'm going to stick with our original. But he thinks perhaps that the softs are dropping off a little bit quicker than maybe we anticipated.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
It is going to be our pit stop lap this, and that was a very poor first corner, and that is the sort of thing that gets you penalties in stupidity like that. And the thing is, we are just so much quicker than Max, but we're not able to show it at the moment because of little mistakes. Closing right in. We are going to come into the pits this lap, so undercut should be a thing. Yeah, we just keep closing in on Max. Our pace is still pretty good on these mediums. No, we're going to come in. Oh, come on. We're going to come in and we're going to stick to the plan. Race those mediums hard. Not too hard though. Not a lot of tyre wear. But Max Verstappen now has a little bit to play with. Ocon's in as well.
Exit.
And we're away just before he comes in, which is good. So we're going to be in a nice little gap here behind the Alfa Romeos, but ahead of the Haas cars. I'm hoping. But maybe the Haas cars are going to get ahead of us as well. There goes Lundgaard.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
And there goes Mazepin. So we are officially right at the back. You can't believe how long you are in the pit lane around here. It is a ridiculous amount of time. So now Max Verstappen leading the way, but now with us not pushing to overtake him at this point, our pace is probably going to be a little bit slower. Now here's Mazepin.
Lewis is in for his stop.
So Lewis Hamilton is in for his stop. Now is he going to put the soft tyres on? I hope he is. I hope he doesn't put the hards on. Chance go down the inside of Lundgaard, and that's exactly what we manage.
17th place. You've moved up into P17.
So there's Hamilton. No, he is on the soft tyres, so we are on a similar strategy, but we have messed up this first sector, and that could cost us in our race with Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is in the pit lane. I think he might come out ahead of us here, you know. We have not been good since coming onto these soft tyres. So here we come up to the line. And there is Max Verstappen leaving the pit lane now. And he is ahead of us. And a decent amount ahead of us as well. So it has not worked out. 1.6 seconds is the gap. This is crazy. We were right on his tail as we came into the pit lane. It has all gone wrong. But are we going to be able to pull this back? That is the question. He's got some traffic ahead of him. But on those new medium tyres, he's going to be feeling pretty quick as well. But could the traffic come to our rescue? Oh, we actually lost a bit of time through there. And he is past Zhou Guanyu now. This third sector, we are quicker than him, but
We have 5
probably
laps
not
of fuel
by
remaining.
enough. Now the traffic is in front of us. We're going to need to make the move here, and luckily for us we do. So Max Verstappen is 1.5 seconds ahead of us. In theory we are on a quicker tyre. But the evidence is at the moment that we were quicker on that medium tyre at the start of the race. Perhaps Jeff was right with his strategy change. Stay on these mediums a bit longer. However, we are now closing in. Well, as you can see, we have closed that gap now to Max Verstappen. But Lewis Hamilton currently the fastest man on track. We come up to the line. That's not a fastest lap. It's a PB, but Hamilton is the one to watch at the moment. Verstappen leads the way. 4 laps to go. Well, this has got to be our chance now. Look how close we are to Max Verstappen. We have DRS. We're closing in on him. Oh, we couldn't make it stick. It was just a little bit risky to keep it down the inside. But we might get a decent run up into Cops. We are closing in. But we're not going to be close enough. This is really, really intense, and we've got Hamilton less than 2 seconds behind now. DRS open. But again, just not quite close enough to... Well, this has got to be the time. Because Hamilton is now nearly a second behind. Oh, and we go to the outside. I thought Verstappen was going to come across us there, but we don't. We managed to take the lead of this Grand Prix. And that is exactly what we needed to do. And now we are in first position. But Max Verstappen will surely try and respond here. We need to try and get this fastest lap off Lewis Hamilton, but that is not going to be easy without the DRS.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
But we have got clear air now. Verstappen has DRS. He's going to have one chance. But he can't get close enough. So, this is now ours to lose as we come round the final couple of corners. And we move on to the final lap.
Final lap
Of the race. A 1:25.0 from Lewis Hamilton gets him within range. We now have 3 drivers within a second for the victory of the British Grand Prix. We always seem to have close finishes here, and we always seem to come out on the wrong side of them. But if we can keep this in the confines of the track, I think we'll do it. Oof, just about kept it in there. That would have been a 3-second penalty, and it would have been all over. Copse corner. We take it cautiously, but that allows Verstappen to close in. He's there, and now he's got DRS. Hamilton's there as well. Hamilton goes to our inside. We're in the middle of the two here. And we brake later than both of them. Oh, we hold on. Going into this final corner now. We're going to go up to the line. It's going to be a Mercedes 1-2. We win the British Grand Prix. Hamilton finishes second.
Yes, you've done it. Well done.
Wow. Verstappen finishes third. Wow, 3 wide into Stowe on the final lap of the Grand Prix.
British Grand Prix.
Woo!
And what a performance it was from our race winners today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
Let's give it to Esteban Ocon. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Wow, I mean, what a finish in that Grand Prix. I'd love to watch that final lap again. Let's just have a little look at it. Final lap. We were leading the way, of course. Watch from the TV cameras. You can see we managed to hold on in that first sector, but Hamilton and Verstappen were right there. They were ready to rock and roll. They were ready to take our lead. But wow, what a finish. We come round Copse. It was a little bit tentative, and there's Verstappen. He gets right in our gearbox and decides to stay there through Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, and then we just have it there. Verstappen looks like he's going to win. Then Hamilton has the inside line. And then we brake later than all of them. Did we make a little bit of contact with Verstappen on the way through there? Oh, you can see we brake break. Verstappen's there. If we have a little look, did we make any contact? I don't think we did. I just don't think Verstappen felt he could make the corner. So there you go. We're down the middle. Verstappen loses it a little bit. Gets close. But yeah, he's out on the marbles. He can't keep it going. And then, Hamilton slides in front of Verstappen there. I mean, surely Verstappen was close to leaving track limits there as well. Goodness me. And Ocon, well, what did it look like from his view? I'm not sure he's going to have much of a view. Yeah, there wasn't much. But Hamilton, he was the one that was observing the battle. He sees us go a little wide. We went onto the grass there. And then this. Hamilton must have been thinking, I've got this. Got a little bit of the curve and a snap of oversteer. And then into this final couple of corners. He's looking for that opportunity. If there was another lap, Hamilton would have won that without a shadow of a doubt. Somehow we held on though. Over the line. Hamilton not happy. And Verstappen certainly not happy. Because he came past us. He was thinking, this is it, I've got the victory. As he's looking at us. We were down to third briefly. But we held it. I thought for a second it was going to be another big incident and us out of the race. Lewis locked up there. But then Verstappen comes over the line. Just didn't have the pace in the end on those medium tyres. But that was so close in the end. And wow, what a championship so far. Still 14 points behind Hamilton. But you can't do much better than that. Winning your home Grand Prix in a 1-2. And we head into the second half of the season definitely feeling confident and feeling like we can do this. Our third race victory of the season. Let's go and win the championship. If you've enjoyed that, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching and goodbye.